Right, we are feeling mega productive today. I might even start listing 6 items today instead of 5. Check me out. So those of you that are following along with the journey, I am currently going through a reset. Reset the mind, reset the body, reset the focus, just resetting everything, but without restarting. There's a big difference. I've already got knowledge, I've already got success, I've already got power from things that I've done before. So now all I need to do is re-implement them back in and get back on track. I've fallen off the wagon, so to speak. Bloody Knuckles 9181 left a comment. I don't understand the draft 5 and list 5, question mark. Isn't that just more work than listing 5 a day? It's a genuine question and I'm wondering if I missed something. I responded, yes, you've missed something. It means that every day I can list 5 items without fail because I've always got 5 in the draft bank. It's not about doing more work, it's about being more productive. I've fallen off the listing strategy and now I'm getting back on. I've recognised that I'm just listing when I want, however many I want, whenever I want, and some of those times ends up with big day gaps in between and it's not consistent. I could just do one day I could do 20, but that 20 might come after 5 days of doing none, and we know the algorithm loves a good consistent feed. He responded, but surely knowing you have 5 in the draft bank would make you more inclined to be lazy and not more productive. If you put 5 on your table the night before, then just make sure you list them the next day. It will get you more into a routine. Not having a pot, mate. I just don't understand how it could be more productive. So I'm constantly listing the 5 drafts. Those drafts need to be replaced. It's a carryover. It's a carry-on. But I realised I wasn't getting through to this chap or lady, so I just responded with, if you don't understand that, that's cool, bro. I'm not here to explain it to you. I just put my way of doing things out there, and how you interpret it, it's down to you, mate. I was being very kind. This is not a pop at you either, by the way, Bloody Knuckles. So he responded with, if you listed 35 items and then released 5 a day, that would make sense for the algorithm. But 5 and 5 just looks like you're expecting to fail and take a cheat day. I can't see any other reason for it. So I think I know what you're saying here. I think you believe I'm building a draft bank so I can use those draft banks on days where I am stuck or unable to list or can't be in the garage or I'm away from home or work or whatever else. That's just not the case. Even though I explained it twice in that video, most likely, sometimes 4 times, because the day that I did a video where I hadn't had any sleep, me and Emma was watching the video back and I repeated myself about 5 times. So you probably had more explanation than that. But the idea is not to have it as a safekeep. It's a guarantee. So I draft 5 today, for example. So today, what I'm going to do in a minute is go onto my laptop and those 5 drafts that I made yesterday, I'll publish them live, so they're gone. Now I don't have 5 in the draft bank anymore. So then what I'm going to do is photograph 5 more items and I've got those in the draft bank. That means today eBay's been fed 5 items and there's 5 items to go tomorrow. So when I come into the garage tomorrow, I'll release those 5 that I've drafted today and I'll create 5 more for the next day. So I'm constantly reloading and refilling the draft bank because I'm constantly making those drafts go live. This is all about me getting myself back into a routine, and I think that works absolutely fine. The fact that you don't understand it leaves me a little bit baffled. Everybody has their own way of working and their own way of doing things, but I'm at a point of recognition where I've realised that I've been slacking and I've fallen off the listing wagon. So now I'm getting back on. Horses are ready, mate. This is how I'm doing it. I'm really struggling to see how you don't understand it, but that's okay. I stopped responding because I realised I was never going to get through to Mr. Bloody Knuckles. Somebody else made a comment to Mr. Bloody Knuckles saying, it gives you a bit of time just to have a last think about prices and check the listing before it goes live. Looking at things the next day, you'll see mistakes and the bits you missed. That's a fair point. That's not why I'm doing it. I appreciate your comment, but that's not my reasons for doing it. But I see what you're saying, and it's not a bad show. Mr. Bloody Knuckles replied to Mr. Trugman1. Trugman1 was the commenter from before. Who's thinking about drafts once they are done? Takes 5 minutes to confirm prices before listing. And once you do this as a day job, it's rare to make mistakes and missing bits. I mean, what is there to miss? Bit of a weak argument there, to be honest. So I understand his point there as well about once it becomes a day job, it's easy to do and these things don't really get missed. But But then he signed it off with a bit of a weak argument, which is whatever. And then Dawn G. William popped up, replying to Mr. Bloody Knuckles. Does it really matter? Ricky is doing it his way, that suits him. You do it your way, that suits you. There is no argument. It's whatever makes things easier for each person. Now, I've got no beef with Mr. Bloody Knuckles. I'd hate to know why his nickname is the Bloody Knuckles. Bit of a boxer boy, bit of a cage fighter, bit of a bare knuckler. But this isn't. I'm not going to sit and explain myself to somebody in the comments when I've explained it 15 times in the video. This is all about me getting back together, me getting my head back on, me getting back on the proverbial wagon that I've said 15 times, and getting myself back into a listing strategy, a listing routine, feeding eBay every single day with new items and new listings. 5 doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a hell of a lot when by the time Friday comes I've done 25 new, whereas normally I would do 3 new or nothing. Do you know what I mean? This is what's working for me. I've taken a step back from my life in many different areas, and one of them was listing on eBay, and I've tried to figure out a practice of how I can get back into it. 5 to me seemed like a very good number. And I'll up that as time goes on. Like today, I'm going to do 6. I'm going to do 6. And then as we move forward, I'll add a few more, As it happens, actually, yesterday I was taking photographs. I'm only supposed to do 5. I did 7, so I've actually got an extra couple in the draft bank. And that's how it's going to go. We're going to keep building. It's going to be compounding. So if you don't understand Mr. Bloody Knuckles of why I am doing what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and how I'm doing it and how it actually is effective and working, that's cool, bro. You're obviously listing multiple a day and you're looking at me like you can't understand why the small fish would be working like that. That's just how I'm working. It works for me, and it's going to work for me, and it's going to make me more productive, and it's going to push me back into the listing strategy. So ta-da, son! Right, what we're going to do today is I'm going to go in there and get some breakfast, and then we're going to come back in and see if we've got any sales. Haven't looked yet. Don't really know. Oh, I hope so. Bills are coming out soon. Oh, my God. Right, that is breakfast annihilated, and now we can get on with some work. And that means sending some 5 items live. Close them. Hold this down to close it. We just press it once, it opens on its own. Safety feature, I'm sure, but who cares? Well, only a few sales on eBay to be fair, but let me just send these items live quickly. So it's done, because it is part of my 9 till 9:30 routine. And we'll go through them. So today, we are sending live a vintage moulded blue glass Coleman's mustard pot. Quite a nice one actually. About this big, really small. We're going to send the BT Response 150. Now these are all just sell similar titles, so we'll be tweaking them to make them better. I don't like full stops. I don't even like all this forward slashing stuff. I mean, look at that, 1990s dot analog. I just don't like it. So we'll be tweaking all of those. That's 2. The Merlin FA Premier League 98 sticker album, that'll be going, that's complete. The Crew, that'll be going up. And the vintage cat in the bag toy. Now, as I mentioned, I did a few more than I was needed to yesterday. So we got 7 instead of 5. But I'll still do 5 today. I'm not going to just do 3 because I've got 5. I'll still do another 5. And then tomorrow, that one, and then the next 3 out of the 5 that I do today will go live. And if I do 4 today, then it'll just be more. So, actually, no, I forgot. I wanted it a bit to 6 today, didn't I? So I'll be upping it to 6. So I'll send those live, and then I'll come back to you and show you what's sold. And there we go. I'm just about to finish my 5th item. Now, what this means is, bear with me a second. Good condition, comes with the tag, although it is not attached, comma, batteries are not included. It requires 3 times AA. I like to use Siri to type. It's much easier for me, especially in here. My hands are freezing regardless. What was I saying? Yeah, so basically what this does, this guarantees that every day I am feeding eBay's algorithm with at least 5 items. I'll eventually move up. eBay is ran by an algorithm. AI is probably heavily implemented in the situation now. It never used to be because obviously AI wasn't really what it was. But even since then, eBay, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, it all works on algorithm. And you need to be feeding the algorithm and letting it know you are still here and you are still active and you are still a member of the community, the website, who can be trusted and who should be having the algorithm push their items in front of people. Because if you're not doing anything for days, eBay's just going to think you're stagnant. You might have listings, but you're not in there tweaking, you're not in there doing anything, you're not making any changes, you're not doing anything, you're just there. So eBay likes to see that happening. It's not a person monitoring, looking, going, wonder if this person's active or not. It's all fed by digital data, and you listing items every day gives it that digital data it needs to say, this person's active, let's push out some products. Because that's what happens, unfortunately. It is a pay-to-play website. That's the way life is. And whether you're paying with your time or your effort or money, you need to pay to play. I've just noticed my battery is really low on this, so I'm going to charge it for a minute, and then we'll come on and show you these sales that I've had. There's not many, but there's some interesting ones. Okay, we're on 40%. That should be enough to get us through the rest of the video. Before I go through the sales, I have just picked out 5 more items that I'm going to be drafting today. Shit, I need 6. That'll do. I'm picking these little things off the shelf as well because I don't list them for a reason, because they're not worth too much money, but they're worth enough to sell. I bought them for a reason, I picked them up and I've saved them for a reason, and that is to list and sell them, so that's what I'm going to do. So my 6 items for today are this 2004 Bratstole, I think it is, jukebox. Sells for about £9.99 or 12 quid, I can't remember. There was a reason why I put it on the shelf and didn't just trick it into a charity shop or a car boot pile. So I think that's about a tenner on that. These Apple iPod Nano cases, there's 4 in there, I think there should be 5. They're called iPod Nano tubes. They are official Apple. These are in a charity shop. I thought I had some iPod Nanos to put in these, but they're actually the wrong model, so I can't use them. So that's 2 relatively low value items. This is quite a nice little item. Coca-Cola bifold like wallet thing. I think it's for, probably managers would have used them and held their business cards and whatever else in there, a bit of cash and stuff. Real hide, made in England. There's a few little marks and stuff on it, but there's probably 15 quid out of that. Don't know how much the iPod tubes are. This was returned to me on the 27th of October 2023. I'd sold it once before, and it came back to me for fee to pay, underpaid item apparently. It's a YSL tie. Really nice tie, repeating logo all the way over it. I can't remember what I sold it for before, but I've just found it again in my stuff from the return 2 years ago. So I'll be listing that again. That's my 3rd item. No, that's my 4th item. 5th item is going to be this little lamp. Italian made, British home store, but it's actually Veneta Lumi. Apparently that makes it more worthwhile. It's all got the price sticker on there. £4 paid on that lamp. It should be about $35 to $39.99 return, which is a nice little chunk. And my 6th item is going to be this box full of vintage caps and hats. Oh my god, I can't even reach in there. Bridgestone. There is tons in there. There's just loads and loads of caps and hats, mainly motorsport. The reason why I'm going to auction those is because they've all got like something age-related wrong with them. Like the caps here, the suede bit starting to peel off when you touch it. It peels, and also the peaks. Bad example. Here we go. The peaks, for example, they're crumbling. They've crumbled and they've snapped and whatever else. So I'm just going to lay them all out as an auction. Basically, say they are trashed. So what I'm hoping to do is appeal to either prop departments or people who collect them and want to hang them on their wall. They can just clean them up and have them as hanging display in their man cave or their F1 themed whatever they've got going on. There's a buyer for everything. There's always a market. They're not fit for the bin, especially because of what they are. So that's going to be my 6 items drafted today, ready to go live tomorrow, because my yesterdays were already live. All this means is I am guaranteed to do listings every day. That's it. That's all this is for. It's getting me back into the swing of things. Works for me, it's working for me. And I've also just realised I've got my tripod actually balanced on the Pyrex dish. A lovely lady reached out to me and asked me about it. I reached out back to her and she's responded, and I completely forgot to reply. So if you're watching this, I am going to respond to you today. If you still want it, we can go from there. My apologies, honestly. I'm terrible sometimes. I've got 2 open offers to look at. I've had 2 offers since we've been here. There we go, look, somebody sent me an offer straight away on the Crew. I've just listed that this morning. $8.99, they've offered me $6.66. Now you must watch the channel. Yeah, you do. Love your videos. Hope this offer isn't too cheeky. It's going to cost me £3 to send it. I'm going to have to counter you at 777 because otherwise it's just not worth it. I paid £2 for it, I think. This is going to be weird. You're going to get this message while I'm recording it and you're going to see it and other stuff. Thank you so much for the offer. I really do appreciate it. Unfortunately, It just goes outside of my minimum requirement bracket. It's going to cost me £3 to send it, and it actually cost me £3 to buy it. I took a risk on it in the shop. You might remember the video. Oh, I've run out of characters. I couldn't say what I wanted to say. But I'll do that. Becca, it's going to be a weird one for you. Oh, it's not letting me do the message. I wanted to say more to you, Becca, but it wouldn't let me. Anyway, as I was saying, this is what I sold. It's got me all mixed up, that has now. I've had another offer. I've had an offer on the kettle as well, but I'm not going to accept it. It's too cheap. It's too low. I sell things cheap, but I do have a margin bracket. First of all, Mr. KLA Antiques has picked up the LL Bean shirt for £22.22. He is over on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and eBay. KLA Antiques, go and check him out. The guy's an absolute legend, smashing it in the game, and he's going to be one of those people that you wish you would have been there early on. And a big happy Christmas to Morgan Tash from Steve and from myself as well. Here's to a great successful 2025, mate. Shut up, Siri. £14.24 all in. We have sold another packet of the Crayola crayons. These are the sky blue variant. I've got loads of packs of these, loads of them. Paid like £2 for the whole lot. I think I've got like 40 packs. A lot of people are asking why they sell for so much. Crayola have a lot of discontinued colours, and people want to create pictures and whatever else with the colours they used to have when they were children. And as I mentioned before, they probably don't taste the same as they used to. So nice little snack. And for 35 plus post, $39.99. We've sold a bunch of Motorola walkie-talkies. I'm not going to get them out of the bag, and you'll see why. I will put screenshots up here. Well done, Ricky, for actually doing it. Don't let us down. They are crumbling. They are broken. They are knackered. The wires are corroding. There's just plastic dust everywhere from where they're all falling apart. I've mentioned all of this. I believe they're old police radios. So I just listed them up for $49.99 and took an offer of £35 plus postage. Didn't realise I had the postage on. So that's fantastic. We don't mind that. Just realised I've got the heater on. Nice for me, terrible for you, because it sounds like a whirlwind in here. So there we go, Mr. Bloody Knuckles, thank you for your comment. It gave me something to talk about. There's no bad blood. I see where you're coming from to a degree, but you obviously don't see where I'm coming from, and that's where the loggerhead crossed confusion thing is happening. So for those that do get it, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. There's a little playlist up here if you want to go check it out and watch some more stuff.